Merrill Memo with Matthew Dickerson from Dubbo Regional Council.
.5 Triple M. I'm joined by the Mayor of Dubbo, Matthew Dickerson. How are you this morning, mate?
I am fantastic. All the better for talking to you, Matho.
Oh, look, compliments will get you absolutely everywhere. Hey, I wanted to kick off. Dubbo is going to see an explosion over the next couple of years of people coming in and building things. We've got some news on the accommodation of those people that are going to come in and stay for a little time.
One of the really tricky parts is we know this is going to happen, and anecdotally we've heard lots of information about different projects, but my old saying is that the plural of anecdote is anecdotes, it's not data. So we wanted to collect some data and really get some cold, hard information on exactly what was going to happen, because we need to be able to put some sort of processes in place to address this. So we engaged a consultancy firm to go and do a detailed analysis, and that was even more than we thought. We thought we might be getting up around 4,000 or 5,000 short-term workers. The data came back to show that over 6,000, and this is based on projects like Inland Rail, the Rail Maintenance Facility, Renewable Energy Zone down around Budangra, the Australian Strategic Materials Mine out at Toongai, so a whole range of different projects. And 6,000 people, well, we know we've got a problem now with just when each individual person moves to Dubbo, trying to find somewhere for them to live, try and find either rental or somewhere for them to buy. So an extra 6,000 on top of that is going to be a real problem, and we need to try and address that problem. We want the people to come here. We want to be able to take advantage of this from an economic perspective. So once we've got that data, that consultancy report about the needs, now we have to go and work out how to address that. That might be some short-term changes to zoning. It might be working about how we can put higher density people in residential areas for short-term, maybe putting people in industrial areas, and even just encouraging developers, because we as in council don't want to go and build all these things that people need to live in, but developers are always looking for opportunities, and if they know about the opportunities, they can take advantage of them.
Well, hopefully we've got some very savvy developers listening to the show, and they might approach you and say, "Hey, look, let's build something."
Part of it is just actually being aware of the opportunity there, and that's part of the reason we took this through council, is to show developers what opportunities are there and let them jump all over it.
Now, a wind farm has been dialing out some cash out of Wellington.
One of the great things about wind farms, when you have wind farm in your area, not only do the landholders get some money for a payment for those turbines being on their property, but as part of the planning consent process, they must have a planning agreement in place that delivers some money to the community. Community benefit funds are typically called. And so the Budangra wind farm down around the Wellington area has got a community benefit fund in place. It goes up with CPI this year, $85,000 as part of that. Now, the only sad part about this is we as in council, as the final process or final step in the process to give this money away, we didn't have enough applications to give all that money away. So we gave away $61,206 of that $85,000. That went to 10 different organisations, mainly around the Wellington area: Wellington Junior Redbacks Rugby Club, the Wellington Town Band, Red Cross, etc., throughout Wellington. But that money that didn't get given away will roll over into next year. But it's one thing that's really important: make sure you're aware of these and get some applications in. The committee that actually looks at all these applications made a recommendation that maybe we should take away the limit, the upper limit. At the moment, there's a $10,000 limit, so you can't go more than $10,000 in one application. So there was a recommendation that maybe we should lift that limit, because what could be worse than not giving away all the money that you've got, Matho?
That's right. I should have put my hand up.
That's right.
For the Matho Future Fund.
Exactly.
Now, when I heard that last week you were moving the council chambers, I thought, wow, I wonder why they're moving to Coonabarabran. But it's not. You're not moving that far away, but you have decided to move.
We've formally resolved to move the chambers. You're right, we're not going to another town, another LGA, but we are going to move them directly downstairs. At the moment, they're upstairs, a lot of history there. Ever since the council moved into the current building, which is, we're talking about the late 70s here, the council chambers have been in that same location. Lots of important decisions have been made there over the years, so obviously a lot of history there, but it's 150 square metres or so of space that sits there and is used twice a month. And so we talked about that a bit and said, well, if we're trying to be as efficient as possible, use the money that we've got from ratepayers in the best possible way, that's a lot of floor space that's used, again, just for a couple of hours twice a month. Can we use that better? Can we use that for office space? Can we house some of our staff there? And we've got a small building across the road from the council chambers at 69 Church Street, and we've got staff in there. Maybe we should move those staff into where the chambers sits at the moment, and then we could lease that space out or sell that building off. It's valued at about $800,000, for example. So if you look at something like that, then you think, well, it seems like a waste of money to have a chamber sitting there to be used twice a month. So we're going to move downstairs. There are committee readings or committee rooms there now. Various meetings are held in those rooms throughout each month. They're well-utilised rooms, and all it would mean is that twice a month they'd be reconfigured for a council meeting. Not everyone's happy about the idea, Matho. There are some people who are horrified about the loss of history and about just moving a council meeting area into normal committee meetings. It seems like it's not important enough, not professional enough. It doesn't have the same gravatas as the actual council chamber. But let's be practical here. We are really making sure we have a good economic outcome for council, and this makes more sense to a lot of people, and obviously it made sense to councillors.
Yeah, it did. Well, I'm glad you came to a meeting on it, and I'm glad that some efficiencies are being found within council. I think that's a great idea. So congratulations from my end anyway.
Oh, good.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, for coming on today. It is very appreciated. You have a great week or a great couple of weeks, and we'll catch up in about a fortnight.
Sounds great. Thanks, Matho.
Mayoral Memo with Matthew Dickerson from Dubbo Regional Council.